button.
Good evening, everybody. I hope you're well, and we're here in the workshop. So I'm just going to, we're using Nicola's camera again, because it's a lot, well, it's larger, more efficient, faster processor and everything, compared to mine. So because Nicola's got the laptop running in here to answer any questions, just need to, what?
It says turning a very large pear tree burp.
Does it?
Yeah. Hey, that's a good one.
Oh, predictive text. Turning a very large pear tree burp. Don't need to find the power thing and plug that in. Can you just make sure when I just make sure that it's all lined up?
Yeah.
So the power on.
I've turned the power on.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Cool. Very good. Lucky Lucy.
Got it. Right, you're right there now.
So we're still here, folks. I'm just putting a turning smock on. I don't know if we're a couple of minutes early or anything. Find out in a second.
1925.
Well, we're up and running early.
There's 6 people watching.
There's 6 people watching. I'm coming. I'm coming. So, am I there? Good evening.
I can see your arm.
Ooh, hello. You see me now?
Yeah.
Well, good evening. So, welcome back to the workshop of me, Chris Fisher. So, if it's your first time here, you are most welcome. Glad you could make it, and if you're a repeat offender, welcome back. So that's cool. So yes, what I thought I'd do tonight is this huge lump of wood was given to me by Rob, aka Prickly Sauce. So he cut it down from his garden, and it's a huge pear tree stump, but it has got a bit of burl action going on. Just taking the wedding ring off, folks.
Thank you.
So it's still got some moisture in it. And I'll just be getting started with it regards sort of like rough turning it. So that's all pretty fine.
Wagger said, is that burp wood rare?
Oh no, hi Wagger. Listen, my dear brother. I think I've got the only piece ever.
I said it was one of a kind.
Yeah, so I'm just mounting.
Cy Smith's on.
Hi, Si.
Blue Light Turner. He says must be big lump on the lathe night.
Yeah, indeed. So, yeah, when I was mounting it to the faceplate this afternoon, I got the Arbortech turbo planer blade just to flatten off this backside a bit, and I also made sure that the lathe was on its torquiest ratio, so that equates to its slowest speed. So if I just got some wobble action there. Obviously we're just going to keep it like that until we can get some So it's going to be low and slow this evening, folks, but we can start getting it banged into shape.
Blue light turner says, think Chris just tips me though. My lathe has been jumping round.
Well, I've got this.
Sounds like a steam engine.
So we are making some inroads into getting it cut. And I'm also just sort of getting a feel for it. So, what?
Oh, it's just slow and steady.
It's still very, very damp. So there's some lovely, it's funny, it's come from prickly and there's some really nice little prickly bits on it. Which is funny. Huge amount of weight in it. So there's definitely a lot of start-stop feel, but we're getting there now. We're just starting to.
Leona says that's a fair chunk of wood.
It is. Who said that? Sorry.
Leona.
Yeah. Just have to be careful that you don't get too confident with the speed. Smells lovely though.
Steve said, are you turning it back into a tree?
Could do with doing that. Most definitely. That'd be pretty cool, turning it back into a tree.
Andrew Windsor says he's visually impaired and he's got a lathe.
Oh, good on you, mate. I was going to say that's what I like to hear. I don't mean that, oh yeah, I like to hear that another guy's got poor vision or none. But, you know, it's good to hear that someone that's visually impaired is taking the fight to life. Which is pretty cool. So, can you feel for it now? It's almost a tune. It's like you said, Nick, when I got back in training.
That's good, mate. He says it was message in two parts. He says, I'm visually impaired and have a lathe coming soon. I can't wait. You inspire me.
Alright, well, cheers, mate. The big old lump of wood. Any questions?
Lots of questions about what's a tree burp.
Oh yeah, a tree burp. It's when getting a piece of wood from your tree and you just had a large meal and you keep bending over with your axe or your chainsaw and you go bleh. That's a tree burp. Any tree related gas?
Says, amazing how much beating that tool can take.
Yeah. Well, it has got just a bit of sap on, so I'll be cleaning it periodically. And obviously when you get into these areas of concavity and that have some facets and edges, you just really have to, especially not being able to see it, have a real good grip and not just want to push in too far. So it's again just taking your time and not pushing the tool rest in so close. That should be clear now, which it is. Let's just find my position. This area right on this corner bit is particularly fun.
People are asking, what are you making?
A mess. Well, this is going to be a huge bowl.
Right.
But obviously it's still very green, so what we're aiming to do is rough turn it.
Right.
Over the course of, obviously it's going to take me quite a while over the course of a few videos, but I'm just taking my time. It's the single heaviest piece I've ever turned.
Right.
So yeah, it's going to be, it's not going to be textured or coloured or anything. It's going to be just a big bowl.
Right.
So
The owner says she thinks it's going to be a spinning top.
oh yeah, possibly the world's largest spinning top. That'd be quite cool. I think really the best advice when doing something like this, take your time. Because you would seriously be in a world of pain if you screwed this up, wouldn't you? So. That's spinning a bit quicker. sorry?
It's an earthquake.
Yes.
Were you going to keep some of the burl on it?
Well, yeah, I'm still just trying to build up the mental picture as I'm turning it. I can still feel some of the prickly stuff. We'll just see how it goes.
Fred Taylor says you're turning a coaster.
Yes.
Steve missed the beginning. Is it mounted on a faceplate?
Yes. My larger faceplate. My chunky, really thick stainless faceplate, which has a lot more holes on it, so you can put thicker, beefier screws, longer screws, more screws. Woo. And it does, of course, feel exceptionally freaky to be turning something like this with no eyesight, but I'm also loving it because, yeah, it's pretty sketchy.
I can smell it from here.
Yeah. And of course, if you're sighted, you'd be able to see the ghost images. But I can't, so that's adding to the fun level. And just a word actually to, I know we all know, but to any, it's not like the lad that's going to be taking it up soon, just because this is a huge piece of wood, do not ever think, oh yeah, big piece of wood, I get my biggest roughing gouge out and use that on it, because you probably will die or seriously destroy something. So, you know, it's going to take a lot longer with, you know, a bowl gouge or a roughing gouge, but a bowl gouge or a carbide, but never be tempted to use roughing gouges on bowls. Ever.
Murderfang says, isn't your arm getting sore from all those vibrations?
No. Not yet anyway.
Not just hit the wall. Does it smell of pears at all?
Pear drops. It's going a bit better now. We've put the speed up a tad. Just feel. don't know if you can hear it, but there's lots of things rattling and jingling away. Pretty cool. I'm going to start taking off this corner here now. Just a little bit, just to start feeling this corner here. Starting to try and get a bit of a bowl shape into it going. So slowly but surely, very slowly but surely, I'm beginning to give the bottom part now some radius instead of it just being slab-sided. So I'm just sort of like beginning to work through the mental pictures now of some form.
I'm just going to adjust this up a little bit because you can't see you. Mr. Maker, Master Maker have joined.
Woohoo! Good evening. Come in. And I'm consciously trying to keep the tool pretty straight. Some carbides sometimes like to work, and really more often than not like to work with a little angle down. I don't want to risk a catch at all by having it angled down. There's such energy and weight in this at the minute still, that just like that, and it's just using it as a lever. So I'm just trying to keep it straight, or maybe even just a little up if I can. tool resting a bit more now. And I've just upped the speed a bit more now. The faceplate still feels very secure. Let's just see if I can just get through the thing to put off that base. And really what I need to think about as well is marking out my, tenon, which I can really do now.
Murderfang says, any guess on how many screws will rattle loose in the course of this stream?
Yeah, hopefully none, possibly a few. Right then, so let's get my gadget and have a swig of tea. So I need to mark out my tenon.
It's looking big bowl-like now.
Big bowl like, well, she'll get there. So, yeah, I can feel that. I can feel it. Just take that tailstock away, and then I'm going to feel for okay, see how she goes at that. Give myself some wiggle room. check for height.
Memento. Now. Notification. Calendar. Now. Notification. Leona Faye woodturning.
Maybe give it a bit more depth. It smells like the forest in here.
Smells nice.
Bit of a pure coat. And then obviously what I need to do now is a bit of dovetail action on there. In fact, just while I think on.
Is this bowl going to be rough turned or finished? Is it green?
It's green.
Harry's going to bed. Just say good night to Harry.
Night, Harry. So it's going to be rough turned and then left to dry. It's very wet. And then we'll continue with it at a later date. And what I'm doing now, folks, is because it is such a big bit of wood, I'm going to be making sure that I've got a real good fit on the tenon, so I'm getting the jaws as closed as I can, really. so we've got a nice tight grip. So I'm just having a feel there. So that's perfect. Now at that, with just
When the wood turn says, remember to mark the bottom with your tailstock to chew up the tenon once it's dried.
yeah, will do. But I'll be bringing up the tailstock once I've done this tenon. I'll be bringing up the tailstock again for some support because there's a lot of weight in it still, so it'll automatically mark the centre point. Already thought about that. Right, so I just very carefully now put a little tail on. With my skew.
Squeaky, squeaky.
So that's pretty perfect. The jaws are almost completely closed on that. Which is very good.
Have you ever considered purchasing a bowl coring tool?
No.
Pourquoi?
Can't afford one. Very dear. Is the good answer.
Gmail. Now. Notification.
Yeah, so
What's going on with notification? When you finish this stage of turning, how long do you anticipate leaving this to dry?
well, they generally say a month an inch. So it depends how thick I decide to leave the walls when I followed it out. But I'm guessing probably till the autumn. I think I'll chance to turn it a little bit more in a minute. Ooh. I've turned it up a fair bit there now. High position. Just feeling it there, just digging into that. Let's have the tip.
Paul Stubbing says looking good, man.
Looking good, man. Well, we're getting there now. Well, we're not actually, we've got lots more to do, but let's just have... Right, I've got the bowl gouge out now. So, yeah, I've got this little sharp ball gouge. Just so I can get a bit of a better feel for this. Just give it a shake up there now, like that. We're trying to get a nice smooth feel for it. You have to be careful near that inclusion. Rolling the whole gouge over.
Clive Farrant says nice shape developing.
Yeah. I'm going for just a nice big deep bowl. That's what I said at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's not going to be textured, no colour on it. So I'm just going for a nice big bowl. I think I'll leave that in.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and there's some little, obviously because it's a bit of burl action going on. Try and leave as much as I can in. It's nice using this bowl gouge because I've just had a play with it on the torment. Obviously this very top, well this part closest to me there now, obviously that's uneven, so I am just wary of having a catch there. There's a little bit of an inclusion there, but yeah, it's certainly a cracking bit of wood grommet. Got plenty of wood shavings on the floor to help dry it out. So
Steve sent you €6.
Steve,
Twidell.
thanks man.
Keep on turning, keep on inspiring.
Always do my best. So what do you think of that shape, Nicola?
I like it. JP says, I turned a burl and get called dangerous. You want to be Iceman, Chris.
Iceman? That's Top Gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Val Kilmer,
I know.
Iceman. Yeah, so I've got my little divot there to line that back up. So I'm going to flip her around. Need to feel for my just need to locate my knockout bar hole, so I can just slacken that off. So that's it coming along now. I can remember.
It's a big old chunk of wood.
So
Wagger says it's looking awesome so far. AH Bespoke. Luke wants to turn another bowl this weekend but can't. He tore his ligaments in his left thumb. Oh. That must be. Oh, is that painful if you tear your ligaments in your left thumb?
Well, tendon and ligament damage, they say, is worse than just breaking something.
Well, when I did my ankle, it took over a year before the swelling subsided.
Yeah, and when I got knocked off my motorbike and I broke my left ankle, but my ankle had been spun a lot of the way around the wrong way, and the surgeon said, you know, the break we can sort.
Yeah.
He said the tendon and ligament damage, and he'd been when he was a medical student, he'd been riding motorbikes as well throughout London, and he did say, he said, because I'm a biker as well, he said I'll talk the talk with you, He said your ankle will never be right again. That's not a horror story for Luke's bad thumb.
Luke's 11.
But, well, you know what?
He's got plenty
He's
of time.
got age on
to
his side.
turn.
He's got age on his side for, you know, a good recovery there. So, that's for sure. Right, let's take that faceplate off. So I'm just, yeah, I think there is in this 8 screws. I'll come and do it over on camera. Okay. So just feeling for where the screws are.
Twitter. Now. Notification.
Should be able to reuse these screws again. These are the Axminster wood spur range. So they're Torx head, self-drilling, self-countersinking. Okay, so that's the faceplate off. I know I've got it somewhere. We'll just get the
Gmail. Now. Notification.
Who's that?
I don't know, it's just a Gmail. Clive says this next bit should be interesting.
Patreon. Now. Notification.
Everybody stand back.
Should be, if I can get her lined up a bit better. This could be very good or very bad.
I'm sitting off to the side.
Just need to just true her up a bit more. But the good thing is it's on the lathe. So I'm just carefully now just re-truing it a bit. Like a mama used to make. So tool rest is way too low. So what I have to do obviously is just tongue out, readjust, tighten up. Make sure I'm not fouling up, so I'm just bringing it around the back here now. Ribbons of Tagliatelle. Being mindful of not overhanging the tool rest too much. It's a traditional tool obviously, so you don't get away with as much of an overhang as you might do with a carbide. So I'm just going to do a couple of just gentle even though it's going to go into storage for a few months and dry out, you know, I still want to give it quite a reasonable shape and everything. Start hollowing out in a minute. He's laughing.
No, they're talking about building a shed for Leona
All right, okay.
for this massive lathe that she's got.
Yeah, the behemoth.
Yeah.
Yeah, get it built.
Yeah, he says to build Leona a real Phoenix shed.
Build it and they will come. Sorry?
Jackson's here. From St Vincent's.
Sorry, from St Vincent.
Yeah, Jackson.
Hi Jackson.
I need an umbrella.
It's not raining. Right, so we're getting that faced off now pretty decently. So what I'll do is I'm going to leave the...
I'll just get all the wood chips off my laptop.
I'm going to leave the centre core intact so I can leave the tail stock up for support. So we're at full speed there now on that first ratio. It'll take you hours to clean up tomorrow in a full So yeah, I'm going to leave it at this wall thickness there. So So obviously, because it's damp as well, it's a bit grippy. So, you know, you can just...
It's a nice piece of wood.
Nice piece of wood.
Do a bit Mr. Lopez for Jackson.
Hello? I don't know what I'm doing, I don't think.
It's got nice colours on that. It's got bits of orange in it.
Orange. So I'm just... I'm just wondering if I'm just a bit too high there. I'll just drop that tool rest a tiny bit. And I'm going to go on to this cupped cutter. Woo! It's still reaching over there.
Yeah.
Does smell pretty amazing.
It looks amazing. It's
Yeah.
very orangey.
Getting some lovely strands of
Yeah.
wood off. So just going to thin this centre cone down a bit. funny because, you know, the tool rest is full of sticky sap and the tools are, and I can feel it on my hands, and the visor. Good job I don't need to be able to see out of my visor, because I'm sure if I could see, I wouldn't be able to, if you know what I mean. So that's pretty cool. That's a good way of putting it. And I'm sure I'll keep going till 9 o'clock, and then that should be really enough. Then it's getting.
Steve says, I think a 1 mil wall thickness with a captive ring and burn lines and textured spirals would be good for this one, Chris.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. So I'm beginning to just got to need to take it a little bit deeper there, just at the bottom. Just so it does feel a bit more.
Leon says it would make a nice sink.
Nice sink, yeah. Nice little vanity sink, his and hers. So I'm just So let's just up that a little bit. Make sure I can feel that on the centre. So just gentle cuts here. Let's just get Get the centre pit removed. It's more than a pit, isn't it? More like a pickle. I am Spartacus. Slowly, slowly, Captain Uncle. But it is spinning incredibly slow, really, in the middle. Nearly there, he says. As much overhang as I want to give that there like that, so while I'm just removing this final bit, I just would like to say actually how impressed I am with this midi-sized, what is a midi-sized lathe. But you know, this 1416, that was a big old lump of wood, and it was really heavy. You know, I can't remember, you know, I can remember when Rob gave it to us at Devon, I thought, Christ! But, you know, yeah, it's not been any mither at all to the lathe.
Are you going to put any Yorkshire grit on it?
Eventually.
Lynn's just joined.
Yeah, Yorkshire grit, the autumn time, when it's dried and I've got to finish it.
It's a nice colour.
What sort of colour is it?
Well, it's sort of like a sycamore colour,
Yeah.
but then it's got bits of orange
Last thing I need to do there now is just take a very greedy cut. If you're still there, Glyn, you better send me a couple of new pots for this. Right. There you go. Right, folks, so I would deem that a huge success. Just feeling where that inclusion is there and just checking, you know, there's still plenty of meat there to so there you have it. From that huge lump to a still very damp, very heavy, big old lump of pear with some burl action in it. So we're just so there you have it.
That's very nice. That's really good.
So
JP says nice hat.
shall I put it on?
Yeah, looks cool.
Is that very fetching?
Yeah. Jackson says another success for the 1,000,000-page book of successes. The owner, that's fab, Chris. Wayne the Woodturner, definitely a success. Murderfang, next week's task, how thin can I go again? This may sound dumb, this is Robert Rees, but can Chris feel or hear better if there is a possible spot that might blow out?
Yeah, I can hear all that, Rob, and feel it. But yeah, these telltale things that I'm feeling and listening for, and all the the inclusions on this, you can feel them quite intimately. And obviously, when if you look at the start of the video, how it was, when there was quite a few sort of like chamfered inclusions and chunks out of it, you can feel them. And you just have to be very mindful that because I can't see a ghost image, and also I can't see how far my tool has gone into those inclusions, I have to be really, really careful and be really tuned into how everything feels, because if you just go in a bit too far, those chamfered or concave areas, you'll get a massive catch, and yeah, so I'm very aware of all of that sort of stuff.
How long will you leave it to dry before applying Yorkshire grit?
I think it's really, really wet, this, very wet, so I'm going to put it I've got a box down here, and I'm going to put, we've got that bag of sawdust,
Yeah.
So I'm going to put it in a wooden box. I haven't got any paper sacks. I'm going to put it in a wooden box, lots of dry shavings.
Glyn says 6 months minimum.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
JP says, what abrasive paste do you use?
Yorkshire grit. Both types, both flavours, original and microfine.
Brainfish says, hats off to you, buddy.
Yeah, hi Richard. Hats off. Yeah, man. So I've just rough turned a huge lump of pear burl that prickly sauce Rob gave me in Devon. So I've just rough turned it. Yeah, it's going to be near Christmas time. It is very wet, really very wet. So you can just, not only would you be able to tell by the weight of it, but it's physically very damp.
Yeah.
So you're talking many months for that to dry. But yeah.
So we can come back maybe in December and do the next thrilling instalment.
Yeah, so everyone's got to stay subscribed till at least December.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, very good. I'm happy with the bowl shape. I'm just going for a really nice. I will actually look forward to, excuse the blind joke, but to getting that back on the lathe in the winter.
Yeah.
So awesome, awesome.
Oh, Glyn says he's unsubscribing now.
Fascist.
Steve says, no easy job with eyesight, let alone blind. Amazing, mate. Great show, guys.
And can you see?
Blind woodturner. Thanks, Steve.
Can they see this?
Yes. Yeah, I've mentioned it and a few people have seen their stickers.
So, yeah, that board's full. I've still got a bit of room on the original.
Templar boy turnings. No easy job with eyesight. Let alone blind, amazing mate. 5 full stops. XXX, great show, guys.
Yeah, so no, I've really enjoyed that. Again, just going to show that, you know, just trusting your instincts with what was a heavy, irregular shaped, dangerous bit of wood. You know, you're probably getting to the maximum capacity of this lathe, but it wasn't phased at all, actually. So I would say you couldn't push it more in diameter because of the swing over the bed, but I think you could even go thicker than that, and it would have. I was saying to Nicola, you know, wood turners have put stuff on the lathes, you know, and actually had to physically sort of like start it spinning because the motor's going, you know. But yeah, that was no mitre, and that was a big old lump to start off with. Still a big old lump.
Nice nut ball for Christmas.
Oh yeah, fill that with fruit and nut mix. Oh, lovely. Or peanuts even.
Yeah.
Right, guys. I've earned a gin and tonic, and Nicola's earned a nice drink as well of
Ginger.
yeah, ginger. Whoops, nearly knocked my board off, man. So make sure the lathe's turned off. So, Nicola, are you going to do the honours and turn all that off? And
Yeah, I'm just having a feel of the bowl.
feel how wet it is?
Yeah, no, the shavings.
If you
These
feel-
shavings, look. Shavings.
I mean, feeling there just how damp it is. I mean, it's like it's been sat out in the rain all day.
Yeah.
Although it's not actually
It's a
dripping
nice,
moisture.
it's a really nice piece of wood, that.
So, yeah.
Gratitude. Now. Notification.
There's all shavings on my
Oh,
phone.
that's alright.
Right then.
Close your eyes.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, that's better.
Cool.
So,
Yeah, thank you so very much, guys. We'll be back hopefully, well, next Tuesday.
yeah.
And then next Wednesday, Matthew Seth,
Yeah.
my intern starts a week tomorrow. So there will obviously be some regular uploads coming,
Yeah.
courtesy of Matthew.
And on Monday next week, our guest on At Home with the Fishers is Dave the Wood Barber.
Yes.
So if you can join us 7:30 UK time, that'd be great. And if not, you can catch the recording later on during the week.
And this T-shirt I've got on, if you didn't get a chance to see it at Maker Central It's one of our new designs, and I really can't see what the problem is, done in the style of an optometrist eye chart. So I really can't see what the problem is. So thank you so very much. Big love to you all, guys. Thanks for your input and your donations. Yeah, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Keep on turning, guys. Have a great evening. Yeah. Cheerio.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thanks for watching.
Finish.
Bye.
But finish. But finish. Alert. Are you sure that you want to stop streaming? Heading.
I can never click this button because it's underneath the... Sorry, we're going.
We're going then.
I've just got to unscrew my phone first.